Will these headers from CX Racing fit on the LS Swap 240SX? Yes, but actually, no. No, they don't. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to get stuck right into it. I have over here laid out the CX Racing full exhaust that includes everything except a muffler. I don't know if they have to go up through the bottom or what. CX Racing doesn't have any instructions. They have some photos on their website, but we're going to get into it and figure it out. First things first, I got to get this up in the air on jack stands because we will have to get underneath it at some point. Before I start messing with trying to fit those, I'm gonna start labeling all the wiring harness as I'm taking it apart in later preparation for changing this intake, but I also need to get some of these heater hoses and these leads out of the way for the coils anyway. Might have to come in from the bottom because of the starter. Let me see. Well, shit. So it's looking like even with taking that starter out, the headers aren't going to go in. Not very easily anyway. I think we're going to have to get a cherry picker and lift the engine up, put the headers on, bolt them down, and then set it back down in place. Since I was going to need it anyway, I decided to go ahead and take the 40-minute drive over to my friend's house and borrow his engine hoist. Well, we made it here to my buddy's house to get this engine hoist, and as you can see, the Ranger that was on the channel still lives. He's the one that bought it back from me. Had a little bit of a mishap the other weekend. He went to make a pass in it, and that drive shaft that we put in just twisted all up. Not so good. But we're gonna go ahead and get this loaded up and get on out of here. Okay, so they do fit as far as fitting in the chassis. It's real tight. But the other problem's going to be seeing if that starter's going to fit. I think the middle runner there, we might have to clearance to make that starter fit, but we'll go in. I'll crawl underneath and see what's going on. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but down inside
that hole there is a broken manifold bolt, and this hole has been drilled and tapped for a much larger bolt size. With that bolt stuck in the head like that, we only get about a half an inch of thread engagement. Um, I'm not pulling this head off at this stage, so we're going to find what size bolt this is and we're going to run with it. I'm going to get one that's long enough to go through the header flange and then give me, half inch of engagement, and we're going to run it.
We then spent way too many hours going back and forth between the bench and the car, absolutely mangling this header, only for it to not fit anyway. So we spent way too much time dicking around with trying to make those headers fit. They're just not going to work with the Z32 trans. If you have a T56 or a T5, any transmission, even if you have an adapter for a non-Chevy transmission, as long as you're utilizing the Chevy starter, not a problem. These headers should fit, no problem. But since we are using the Z32 starter, not gonna fit. So we're gonna pivot now to tackling the wiring and mounting the Fitment Ultimate LS ECU inside the car. The main reason I wanted to take the dash out was so I could get a good look at the state of the wiring underneath. I needed to see how the previous owner had tied into the main harness for key-on power, as well as look at how I could tie the ECU outputs in for the instrument cluster. The main power wire coming from the battery relocation needed to be moved as well. Where it came out of the firewall was directly where the exhaust would be.
I've got the main battery wire out coming from the back that they ran to the starter. I'm probably going to drill a hole in the side of the trans tunnel and go down to the top of the starter that way. Having it out the front, like I said, just not good. Goes right where that header would be. I got a hole drilled in the side of the transmission tunnel, and I got the main battery cable plus the starter trigger wire ran through, and I got it through a rubber grommet. That way the cables don't chafe on the body and burn the whole thing to the ground. Still a lot to do. I believe, from what I've been able to gather, some of these wires at least go to the instrument cluster. I can't really test that right now. I don't really want to hook the battery up just yet and try and source out where I'm going to run some of that external stuff from the Fitment LS, like the TAC and all that, to see where it goes to the cluster. I want to wait until I have the exhaust sorted out, which I'm going to have to do some sort of mock-up. I think we're going to have to more or less completely customize that passenger side header. But the way it's set up right now, in order to get this header in and out, we have to lift the motor and jiggle it around to get it to go down in there. So I can't really do that by myself because I need to be under there and be moving the starter around at the same time somebody's up here trying to line this up so I can see where everything's hitting. So I'm gonna have to wait until I can get some help. I was hoping to make this video more of like a long form video, but I'm kind of in a bind and I'm not getting a whole lot done very quickly. So I think that's going to be it for this one. I'm just going to post what I have and how far I've gotten, and then maybe we'll go back to shorter uploads with just a little things done, throughout the week, instead of waiting 2-3 months to do one big edited video, because I'm not really at the point where I can do a video like that. So Thanks for sticking around, guys, if you're still here, and we'll catch you in the next one.